$100,000 H-1B visa fee. Is this the end of the American dream? Well, this is a question that is on everybody's mind. And that is why we are having this session on a very hot and a very timely topic. Well, stay tuned, friends, because this is a session that is going to be very important, not only for the H-1B visa holders, but for every immigrant who is planning or dreaming to have a life in the USA. Stay tuned, stay connected, and watch this session till the end because in this session, we are going to unpack a lot about this topic. And with that, friends, don't forget that we are live on YouTube, also available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then do it right now. And with that, to make this session a wonderful one, I have a very special guest who's going to join me in a bit, none other than Attorney Nandini Nair, who's also a partner at AY Strauss and has 25 years of experience in the field of immigration. So hi Nandini, and first of all, welcome back to Immigration TalkShow. Really glad to have you back. How are you doing?
I'm okay. It's been a difficult weekend, but no, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me back, Sam. It's a timely issue, and I'm so glad you guys are doing this.
All right, thanks to you too for being here. And I'm sure our viewers are really excited for this session because this just happened on Friday evening, I guess, by noon, sometime somewhere. And I'm sure our viewers are really worried or, they are tensed, especially the employers, the tech giants, the industry, everybody is having a lot of questions. So friends, it is the time to be vocal and to ask a lot of questions because these are the session for you. And grab this opportunity, ask as many questions as possible in our live session so that our expert will love to help you out. All right, Nandini, with that, before diving into my questions, as I have a lot, I would like to know the reason behind, as this is a major shift. Obviously, in 2025, we have been coming across with lots and lots of changes every day. But this is also one of the biggest change. So what do you think? Like, what can be the reason behind this change that administration has come up with?
I think it's just following the rhetoric, right, that they've been playing for since they've been in power at this point, and even Trump won, right, which is immigration is bad for the country. We need to limit immigration. This was something that was on the table, the first administration, but they just didn't have enough time to implement it before they lost. So I think they're really fast forwarding all the ways they can to limit immigration into the United States, and not, and the focus used to be the border, right? You're not hearing that too much now. Now we're looking at legal immigration, and I think it's partly also because the economy is tanking, right? So they have to show some sort of effort to say, foreigners are not taking away your jobs. This is what we're doing at this point. We're going to make sure that we create enough barriers and hurdles to stop them from entering the U.S. And I think that's what's really going on here.
All right. I think that's a pretty tough time for H-1B visa holders. And, Nandini, news also, we have been seeing that a lot of immigrants, they have been boarded on the flight and then they are leaving it just for the sake of fear that, they won't be able to get the re-entry in the USA. So how about that? I mean, what message would you like to give to the H-1B visa holders who are too worried and not sure, like, what's going to happen with them?
Right. So for right now, I would see if they can avoid travel. I don't think we have definite clarity on how this is to be interpreted because we have gotten contradictory information from the moment this dropped, right? From the proclamation to the tweets to the quickly written memos that they've issued from CBP to USCIS. And it's all contradictory, right? There's no clarity. So my advice to anyone who's on an H-1B at this point would be to hold tight. Don't travel. Let's get some information on the ground. Let's get some clarity before you go and take any sort of risks at this time. So that would be my number one advice. Stay put.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a very important advice. Thank you so much, Nandini, for, putting up that clarity. And I'm sure our viewers are going to keep a note of it. Friends, in case if you're having any other doubt or, if you're feeling that this is a very important topic and your friend, your relative or your family, anyone who needs help, then please don't hesitate to share the link of this webinar. I'm sure this webinar is going to be helpful for them. And the best thing is that you can also get in touch with Attorney Nandini Nair. You just have to visit this link and you'll get the contact details of her. All right, and with that, Nandini, let me go ahead with my another question that I have for you. And most importantly, we have been knowing that, of course, the H-1B visa holders, they are going to be impacted a lot. But with that, we would like to shed light something on F1 student visa. Like, how is it going to impact them also? Because they are also a little worried. So, what's your call on that?
Yeah, I would say based on the way the language is, I think the students may be the ones who are mostly impacted when they're trying to file a change of status to H-1B, probably the next lottery. I mean, again, there's new lottery um, proposals that are coming up also, but I think they're the ones most affected, right? Because the proclamation says new petitions.
Mhm.
And I think the definition of new is going to hit anyone who is doing a change of status. From what we are seeing, and again, this is not 100%. So I want to make sure the audience understands that these are interpretations. We're reading tea leaves here. We don't know what the administration is actually going to do. So tomorrow they could say, hey, that's not what we meant, as they did all weekend long, right? They readjusted, they walked back everything they were saying. So this could be a walk back. And my interpretation is that, yes, they're the ones, number ones, obviously in a little bit of trouble. But the real possibility or the real interpretation is anyone who's actually outside the US filing a petition, especially in the next lottery, they're 100% subject to this fee. That's an absolute that you can read very clearly in all of the things that they are saying. The question that still is standing out there is, and is an F1 filing a change of status subject to this, and who is here? And I
Mhm.
don't think we have 100% clarity, but they are the ones that, I could see we're going to have some issues and stuff with. But again, hold. Don't take a breather. Don't panic yet. I feel that, we don't have enough information. And I know that everybody is so sick in their stomachs about this possibility. But hopefully, as they have walked back some of these things and clarified, we'll get some more clarification in the next few days.
Absolutely, that's rightly put. And I think, Nandini, as we are obviously advising people that don't panic and don't take stress, but I'll say it's easier said than done.
Mhm.
Everybody is in panic condition and everybody is stressful right now because I think earlier it was $1,500 to $5,000 somewhere, and now it has been jumped to $100,000. So
Mhm.
we can easily see the difference between the two numbers, and that's huge because
Mhm.
Amazon, Microsoft, Wipro, I mean, these are the company where we have been seeing a huge population of H-1B visa holders.
Mhm.
So we all are in a confusion that how they are going to manage because they have been continuously hiring the H-1B visa holders. So are they also going to, what is the thing? Because we are confused. Are they also going to open the doors for the H-1B visa holders after this change? Or are they going to, close the door? What's your call on that?
Okay, I have a two-part answer to that. One, again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Okay, I want to put that out there, but I believe that were aware of the rule because they were there at the White House 2 weeks ago. I am feel confident to say that I think they would have been briefed on this, probably at least on a high level, maybe not the mechanics of it. And if you see in the proclamation, there are exemptions available. And I feel that these high tech companies, because it clearly says STEM, industries, are going to get that exemption. So, part one of my answer is that I think they are not jumping crazy yet because they're probably been assured that they will qualify for that exemption. That's part one of my answer. Part
Mhm.
two of my answer is these companies have what's called GCCs or offshore facilities in India, right? So they're able, or in China or Vietnam, wherever, right? So they're going to be able to adjust more easily to move that work over there. So again, maybe they are not as freaking out as the small and mid-sized companies or the consulting companies, that I deal with a lot with clients, because they have these plans already in place, So again, this is I just, somewhere in my gut, it feels like they knew that, and they know that they're going to get those exemptions, so they're not that super worried about it hitting their budget. And if it did hit them, honestly, I really don't think even them would pay the $100,000 for an employee. I think that has to be an exceptional individual of some kind, for them to pay that type of money. So it would then just lead to offshoring.
All right, all right. And I think I completely agree because that's a huge amount, and they hire thousands of employees, so it is not practically possible. But I think, yeah, you have mentioned a lot of points in this, till the end of, I mean, till now. So let me go ahead with my next question to you, Nandini, and that I have. All right. So most of the time we have been hearing President Donald Trump saying that America first, right? Make America great again. So this is a very famous, I'll say, statement of our president that who has been claiming about it. So what do you think? That is this mainly about protecting the American workers from foreign competition, or what is the real side of the story?
Okay. And I have multiple answers and theories about this myself. But one, yeah, of course, right? That's the narrative. That's been the narrative for a long time. The American public has this thing in their head that they think foreigners are taking away their jobs, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the economy is not doing well. And so it all goes in hand. Every time the economy starts to not do well, this rhetoric starts to bubble up even more. So I see that happening. And I can understand the optics on this with the administration. Hey, we got to do something. We got to be able to provide more job, select opportunities for our own workers. And that's fair in some sense, because every country tries to do that for their own citizens and stuff. The second part is this ridiculous fee. Okay. This isn't like a $10,000 fee or, $50,000 fee. I mean, this $100,000 fee is, so where this money is going? It's going into the treasury. It's not going to USCIS. It's not going into the Department of State. It's not going to the Department of Labor. It is going to be a check you write to the treasury. Okay. Now, if I look a little behind the curtain on this, I think we are, behind in some cash. We are, because the tariffs have not exactly been super successful, no matter what the rhetoric is coming out. The economy is not doing well. So we need a cash inflection from where, right? So I think there's also the second part of this is we need to find money from somewhere, right? So let's say, hey, 2-for-1 here. We put up these hurdles, and if anybody wants to do it, we're going to get this money, we're going to put it into a treasury, and that's going to show that, hey, we have all of this cash available. Again, these are solely my beliefs and my interpretations of what's going on. No, doesn't mean that that's absolute, but those are some of the things when I really look at it very carefully, read everything I'm reading, that, why this amount? If you have 5 people that Amazon sponsors, that's $500,000. 10 people, it's $1 million for 10 people. Imagine all of the big companies putting up that type of money. How much is going into the United States Treasury? That's a lot of money. So, those are some of my thoughts on there.
All right. And I really appreciate for putting those thoughts very confidently and very honestly. So thank you so much, Nandini. And I think, friends, you can also share your thoughts, your perception about this topic, or about a discussion as well. Feel free. You can put it on the comment section, and do let us know also what do you think about it. What can be the reason behind implementing this change, putting $100,000 on H-1B visa fee? All right, and with that, friends, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. We are live on YouTube. and also available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. Okay, with this great conversation, Nandini, let me go ahead with my next question. And this is again going to be very, very important. All right, so my next question to you is that will companies now send more tech jobs to India or any other countries instead of hiring in the USA? Are they going to look for the alternatives, or what do you think about it?
If I was them, that's what I would do. That would be my first thought. Okay, we still need to produce. We still need to do our deliverables, right? We still need to run this business. So now what we're going to do is we're going to ramp up hiring in India, in China, in different places where these businesses have offshore facilities and stuff. So yeah, that would be a common thing. That would be a reasonable thing. That would probably be the right thing if I was a CEO of, any of these entities. That's the first thing conversation I'd be having with my leadership. All right, you
Yeah.
got to amp that hiring, overseas at this point. Yeah, I don't see that not happening. But I do actually want to bring in another thing I've been thinking about. And again, these are my thoughts. So let's say that they're going to not hire H-1B cap people, it's going to limit it, right? They still need talent, right? So again, this is just a silver lining I'm thinking about. Does that open opportunities also for my H-1B people, my EAD people? Because now they're going to need to hire the big ones, right? Are going to want to need to have talent. So does that open up those opportunities for my STEM people to say, oh, I couldn't get a job last year from Meta, but now Meta is not hiring. So Meta is looking out, coming at me and saying, hey, are you available? So would there be some sort of opening for those type of people at this point? Would there be more openings for my students who, I deeply am sympathetic for, my F1s who are on OPT, who was not able to get a job before, are they now going to be able to get some different opportunities because you're cutting off a population coming in? So there could be some benefits that some people need to think about when you're looking at this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's very well put up. Thank you so much, Nandini, for putting up these answers in a very honest and a very patiently manner. And now I think, we have been talking about a lot about the tech industry and the employers. So, majorly, my question is like, if this policy is there, then how is it going to impact the tech industry and also the workers over there?
Well, I think we talk, like exactly what you said. It's going to offshore, right? That's going to benefit probably India the most, right? In the sense because they've seen a big case of what is it, brain drain, right? People from all these individuals who are in these STEM fields wanting, to leave India, right? And taking their brains with them, taking their innovative ideas and stuff and taking it to somewhere else. And probably now they're going to hopefully maybe stay put because they're going to say, I don't want to risk my future coming here. Because it's not even just the fee, right? It's the instability
Yeah.
that it is the fear. Like so many of my clients, when I talk to them, the fear, that they have every day. Well, is ICE going to come in? Like, oh my God, I got a DUI. Like, am I in trouble now? All of that. Why do I want to put myself through that? I'm never going to get my green card if I start today. It looks like, my grandchildren won't even get their green card at this rate, So why do I want to do that? Why don't I stay in my home country? Why don't I add to the society here? Why don't I add to the value here? Why don't I build something here? So maybe what happens to the tech industry is the United States comes down in tech talent because of these things, and the other countries pick it up, especially India. Is that what's going to happen?
All right. I
Okay.
think, yeah, that's a pretty good thing also because it will enhance, the industry of India as well and the other countries too, because they will become more independent and they will encourage more business and more independence as well.
Mhm.
But I think on the other side, Nandini, this is just a question that we have been going through a lot of articles, and people are asking like, if H-1B visa holders are going to be, removed from USA. So
Mhm.
is there any surety like tech giants are going to have the same position in the whole globe, in the whole market, as how they have been, maintaining till now? If there won't be any H-1B visa holders, what do you think on that?
But see, it's not that they're wiping away the program. You know who they're targeting? They're targeting IT consulting companies.
Mm.
All right. They're not trying to, I mean, if you look at it, yes, maybe if it's a Stephen Miller, he's trying to say, I don't want anybody here who's foreigners. But again, the reality, these large tech companies are going to get the exemptions. I will stake my life on it, okay, at this point, that they will get the exemptions. They will continue to do the business as usual in most sense. Maybe there's some reduction, but it won't have the impact that it's going to have on IT consulting companies. That is the target. Those are the companies that are going to suffer the most because they do not have that kind of budget. No, it's impossible for them to do that. And they're not going to qualify for the exemption most likely because they're the target here, right?
Yeah.
Because in the eyes of the administration and whoever is anti H-1B, they feel the companies that do the most abuse are the consulting companies. So let's get rid of them. So I don't think, again, these tech companies are going to sit there and have large ones are going to have too much uh, issues because there'll be some carve out. They'll navigate around it. They'll figure it out and stuff like that. My poor small medium companies, they're the ones who are going to get hit from this.
All right. All right. Okay, so I think these were really insightful, and I'll say, friends, feel free to put your thoughts, the questions on the comment section, and I can see that a lot of viewers have joined us. So, friends, feel free, and a lot of questions I can see. Quetty is here, Jadav is here, Ricky, Nirav. So, thank you so much, guys, for being here, and let's be more participative in the session. I know a lot of questions, a lot of doubts are still on your mind. So go ahead and put them on the comment section. We will definitely going to take them up after two or three questions of mine as well. Okay, so now, Nandini, I want to shift my segment, and now let's talk about something, global perspectives and alternatives. So,
Mhm.
as US is charging $100,000 now, okay, per H-1B worker. So, how will skilled professionals going to decide where to work? Are they still going to come to the USA, or will they look for jobs outside the USA, whether Europe, Asia, or some other places? What do you think? How people are going to look for it?
I just think US is still the number one destiny for everyone. Even with the heartache and the hurdles, and this is not that the hurdles that we're facing today is just it just came out. Like it's been going on since I want to say 2009, pre-Obama. I want to say it started a lot of the troubles, but it's still people want to still come here. Whatever the reasons, whether the opportunities, whether the income, it still seems to be the destination of choice. But that being said, now we're in a little bit of a different situation. Could Europe benefit? Probably. I mean, I think, but you have to understand that a lot of Europe is also going through this anti immigration, attitude. Also, it's not like they're free and open and like welcoming and come on in and stuff like that. They're not either in that, and they're making those things difficult. Canada's making it more difficult, right? All the welcoming that used to be there has really reduced. So I don't know how much Europe will necessarily benefit, but you should know that China is all of a sudden real open to inviting people. They just are going to issue a new visa, the K visa, that starts on October 1, and it's for STEM graduates. And it's like you don't even have to have a job offer, supposedly. You don't need to have a sponsorship, and you can get there. And, we don't know the full details yet because they haven't been posted, but they seem to be like, oh, let's step into this now vacuum and let's offer a visa and let's let them, these STEM talented individuals, come to us if these other countries are putting these barriers up. So I think Asia maybe Singapore, kind of, all of these countries are going to benefit more because they seem to be more welcoming than Europe at this time. So
Yeah.
I think maybe the, destination to go to for a lot of people from India.
All right. All right. That's great. And I think that's a pretty welcome insight from different countries that we have been seeing from China, Asia also. So, friends, you can go ahead and look up for these opportunities and these places too. But also, Nandini, as you mentioned, that Europe is also becoming little anti-immigration, and they are in this track as well.
Hmm.
So, of course, it is not a question for the topic, but generally, I want to know that why people are developing this feeling against immigrants. I mean, what are the mistakes, or what are the drawbacks, or anything? What can be the pointers, like why people are developing this feeling?
It's hard to pinpoint it, but I think the world is becoming very insular, meaning that, hey, I want my own people. All right. And the other things I think is where the sentiment rises is the migration of people, right? Like, let's say this in India before 1980 or even 1990, did Indians leave India for the US? Rarely. It was a very small population that came here. And then all of a sudden, there was this big boom of, the tech people, Y2K, and everything like that came in. And I think what is happening across Europe and across North America is this visual look that, hey, my neighbor is no longer the same as me. My neighbor looks different from me. Where are they from? How come they have an accent? And maybe before you had to go, one like 3 miles down. Now that person is right here, and that person is across the street from me. And I think that is adding to the uncomfortable nature and adding to this feeling of like, I'm not with my kind, that like that feeling. And then that feeling jumps to,
Yeah.
are they taking away my jobs? Because again, a lot of the people, especially ones who come in all these professional visas, whether it's in Europe, whether it's here, they're highly educated individuals, right? They're
Yeah.
professionals. They're coming, they're doing their job, they're making a living and a good living, right? Because they work hard and stuff. And so that neighbor is like, hey, how come he's got that new Tesla and I can't even afford this? Right? That part goes around in people's head and they want to think it's not my fault. It's their fault that I can't get that. And that's the rise of actually anti-immigration that's going on in the world right now. The migration outside of their home countries, landing in these places and being successful in the new land. That's what the issue really is. To me, again, jealousy, plays a big hand in all of this anti-immigration things. So, and but I have to say also to everybody who's watching, and I've said this before and other things. Could I just go? I'm a U.S. citizen. Could I just go to India and work? No, I can't. I have to go through a whole process to get a work visa if I wanted to come and work in India.
Yeah.
They don't make it easy for US citizens. And so because they're protecting their own workers and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
So is it unfair for a UK to want to kind of say, I need to protect my own people? Let me be able to give them opportunities.
Yeah.
I know that's an unfair thing to think, you know?
Mhm.
I think that's how it's happening.
Absolutely, and I think that's a very practical thought. There's uh, there's always two sides of the coin, and that's what you have spoken it, and very clearly, and very in a very detailed form, because this is also a question that most of the people have in their mind, like what suddenly happened that people are developing this feeling, because earlier everything was smooth and very welcoming and very cordial, but why
Mhm.
is this sudden rage of this anti-immigration movement too? And okay, so I think if we are going to delve into this topic, then we need to have another session for it. So I don't want to talk more about it because I know Nandini, you have a lot of information about it. So not to worry, friends, we'll definitely have another session. Until then, I think let me take up some of the questions from our viewers. So, hi QWERTY, and she is saying that H-1B picked in 2025, but stamping H-4 EAD in December 2025. So, can I re-enter on H-4 and later do COS to H-1B without a $100 fee? Since this started on 1st October, both are my visas, no spouse involved.
Um, okay. So I would say that we don't have enough information yet from the Trump administration to say, will you be able to bypass the 100K fee? Um, I'm going to say, okay, I would take the shot personally. If I was her, I would be like, okay, let's say I get a good job, and again, I don't know why you would want to come off your EAD, H4 EAD, because that's an open employment and you can work in so many ways versus an H-1B, which is very limiting and stuff like that. But let's say you wanted to work on an H-1B for whatever reason. Yeah, I would say that I would be someone that would say, let's take that shot. Now, again, being very fair and understanding, maybe we get an RFE tomorrow, wanting that 100K and stuff like that from the employer. But I can make an extremely good argument in my mind that first of all, the petition was filed before September 21st, 2025. So you don't even come under this proclamation. And you're actually in the US, so you don't come under that situation either. I would absolutely take the shot on this case.
All right. All right. Thank you, Nandini, for taking up this comment. And QWERTY, also, thank you so much for participating in this session. If you have more questions or any other follow up, then feel free to put them on the comment section and we will definitely take them up. Nirav is here. Hi, Nirav, and thank you so much for your question. My spouse is on H4 and was planning to apply for H4 EAD. With these changes, is there a chance that dependent visa will also face hidden cost or restrictions? Yes, Nandini.
No, none of this proclamations and things that we're seeing right now is hitting H4s or H4 EADs and stuff. So these fees should not be at all applicable to your spouse at this point thereof. I do want to caution everyone, though, that, at some point, and again, this is made possible and stuff, all of this administration is trying to knock down every type of work permit and visa and stuff like that. So is there a possibility this could be on a chopping block at some point down the road and stuff? The H4EAD I'm speaking of, there could be. But for you at this point, go ahead and tell your wife to apply for the H4EAD. There is no 100K fee attached to it or any sort of restrictions at this time. And I would actually say, go do it, because generally the rules are that when they file anything, it's not retroactive. It's like in the future. So if your wife already has the EAD, she's probably locked in to be able to use that without any sort of further restrictions.
All right, got it. Okay, so Nirav, I hope you got your answer. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then please also do that. Okay, Ricky is here, and Ricky is our very active user. Thank you so much, Ricky, for being here. And he has a question, that is, what is considered as a new petition under this executive order? Will the $100,000 fee also apply for H-1B amendments with the same employer due to change in designation? Yes.
Okay. So that I can say no, absolutely. The amendments will not. Everything we're reading and every interpretation clearly points to that it will not apply for an H-1B amendment with the same employer due to change in work location, change in job title, change in something, whatever material change that happens. This should not apply. I'm going to say should. And I pretty like 99.9% confident that this will not apply at all in that type of case. Now, going back to the first question, what is considered a new petition? And that is the exact question that we all sit here and wonder too. What do you mean by new petition, to the administration? This is a long debate that many attorneys, many companies, many HR people were all struggling with that same thing as, hey, Trump administration, what do you mean by new petition. And if you see all of the different things that have been issued, it seems like they don't understand what a petition is versus what a visa is, right? So did you mean new visa or did you mean actually mean a petition? We don't know that yet. So I can't give you absolute guidance on what that is yet. I'm still waiting.
All right. And I think, Ricky, if you need any clarification regarding these, then please go ahead and you can also visit the link and you can get in touch with Attorney Nandini Nair. So there you'll get the contact details of her. And without any hesitation, you can go ahead and visit this link and you'll get your answer. Okay, there's another question from Ricky, and let me take that up too. He's saying, hello, thanks for the session. Thank you so much, Ricky. And will $100,000 have to be paid for a case of concurrent H-1B filing by a second employer after 21st September? By when do you expect to get more clarity on this as well as transfer?
Okay. On both questions, the concurrent age, we don't know either on that, because the way you could, one interpretation is that considered new petition, new employer, right? Because you're adding a new employer to your work portfolio, if you want to look at it that way. So will that apply? We don't have clarity on that. When do we expect to get some clarity? We're hoping, in the next few days. I know that multiple organizations, including AILA, are pushing on the administration to issue an FAQ or an additional memo and really give us some clarity. So we're really, truly hoping in the next few days we have some more information. I would tell you to just stay tuned. Keep your eyes and ears open for any news that comes out. Follow me on LinkedIn if you want. I'm posting about anytime I get a news and stuff. And hopefully it's soon, because I know we have a lot. I have cases that I'm on hold a little bit because people are nervous about this until we have some clarity.
All right, that's wonderful. So I think, friends, that's a very important thing. Stay tuned and stay connected. And I think after this session, Nandini, I hope you don't mind if we are going to share your LinkedIn profile link on our comment section, because that's where our viewers can also join you and get more knowledge about the topics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's great. And Jadav, I think now it's your turn. So Jadav is asking that is this $100,000 fee actually legal? And can it be challenged in court by immigrant groups or businesses, or do we just have to accept it? What do you have to say, Nandini?
No, we're not accepting it. That's don't even think that that's where we're at. Everyone who's impacted by this is not laying down and accepting it. There is many people in the background that you're not hearing yet about, but they are working on active litigation. They're putting the claims together. They're trying to find plaintiffs to file suits against it. So this is not something where any of us is accepting. Can it be challenged? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we're all gearing up for at this point. And is it actually legal? And that's the question for the courts. We have claims, that are saying this is overreaching. This is excessive. This is, not something that he can do. It seems like to be a tax, which the president does not have the power to do. It is only Congress can issue such a tax. So there's multiple claims that are being worked out in the background by multiple people to file a lawsuit very, very shortly. Now, again, I think what they're doing is they're really trying to streamline and get plaintiffs as much as possible. And of course, businesses and, Chamber of Commerce, like all of these organizations are working in the background. So please stay tuned. I think that it will be filed shortly, and we are waiting to see if a TRO, which is a temporary injunction, basically, or pause, if you want to say it that way, will be issued shortly. So
All right.
we will hopefully see that short.
All right, let's hope so. Okay, and Jadav is here. Okay, Jadav, we have taken, and I think this is the same question, Kwati, that you have put up. So we have taken. Okay, and this is ASIND. So let me take up this question too. And the question is that I have a valid H-1B visa. Should I travel outside USA? Is it still risky after clarification from USCIS?
Okay. So I'm going to run conservative on this. Okay. Yes, we have clarification. It doesn't apply to anyone who has a valid visa. I have
Mhm.
definitely seen many people this weekend come in without issue. We have heard of no one getting stopped who have a valid visa. Airports have run people through, very limited questions, and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's fine. Now, do I want a client of mine to be stuck somewhere or stuck in secondary or not be able to board a plane because the airline is nonsense and they are like, oh, you're supposed to, where's that 100K fee, right? Because the people who are letting you board, they're not lawyers, right? They're not like sitting there and being like understanding the nuance of this law.
Yeah.
Nor is CBP. Maybe they're going to take it a little overboard. It's not like the first time you haven't heard of a CBP officer going beyond his job duties and having a little bit of a power trip and pulling you into secondary.
Mhm.
So that being said, if you can avoid the travel for a little bit just to get the calm down, the rhetoric down a bit, see more people travel, more clarity, like 100% clarity on what's going on, I would try to avoid it. Now, if you have to travel, you need to travel, you want to travel, you assess all of this and carefully and make sure that when you're coming back in, you're prepared for the possible questions and I would have if you have a lawyer, I would have your lawyer prep prep a letter and saying that this does not apply, print out the proclamation, bring out all the memos and stuff like that. Again, overkill maybe, but best to be prepared like that.
That's right. That's right. I'll just say that, friends, you have to prepare for everything, have your own documents, and be ready with your answers because this is the time, you can't gamble or you can't be careless. So have knowledge of everything, every policy, because every time morning you are getting some different policies, evening you are getting to know a policy has been changed or something else has happened. So I think staying connected and staying aware is very important. And for that, I'll just say that subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration TalkShow. Okay, Seema is also here, and Nandini, I can see a lot of viewers have joined us. So they are loving your insights, and as I knew this, so I'm not very surprised about it. So let me take up Arun. Okay, AS India is saying thanks. Thank you so much, and keep watching our channel. And soon we are going to have more and more session with Attorney Nandini Nair. So let's take up Seema's question. Seema is saying Indian origin professionals make up a significant portion of US doctors, researchers, and educators. Has the administration considered the downstream effects of this fee on sectors already facing labor shortages, especially rural healthcare and university staffing?
Seema, I don't know what they thought about. This seems like a TV show sometimes, or I'm living in some twilight zone of what they're doing. Have they thought about it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can tell you that the way this was all rolled out and stuff. Are they thinking about it now? Yes, because they have made some statements saying that this won't apply to physicians or doctors in rural areas. Now, do we have a memo that says that? Do we have anything that clarifies that 100%? Absolutely not. But I do see that there is chatter on this from the administration. There is some stuff that they are definitely been like, oh, yeah, with doctors, yeah, researchers, oh, yeah, oh, we forgot about those. How about teachers? We use the program for teachers also. We have a teacher shortage. Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe that
Yeah.
blink will come in and stuff. But I do anticipate we're going to get some sort of revision on that, and that where doctors will, especially in rural areas, are going to get exempted because it's there. There's chatter about that already. So hopefully it comes through in the next few days. Stuff.
All right, let's hope so. Thank you so much, Nandini, for that. And Arun is also here. So Arun is saying that this proclamation does not do much to mitigate the fraud and abuse. Significant reforms are required to prevailing wages definition and drastic action to curb desi consultancies is needed. Okay.
Okay, so Arun is making his viewpoint clear. Okay, yeah, agreed. I'm not sitting here and saying there isn't some sort of revisions and reform that's absolutely needed. Yes. Is there fraud and abuse? 100%. Absolutely. Is this the way to do it? No. I agree with you. This is just really not going to do it. Does there need to be a complete overhaul of the program from top down with people who are informed and intelligent and knowing about what the program is and how it actually works in reality? Yes, I agree. And you know, I will also say that every Daisy consultancy is not horrible. Okay. Yeah, there are some bad players, absolutely. And there are a lot of good ones out there too. It just the bad ones seem to get the spotlight, and that's why you hear about it.
Well, that's right. That's very well said. Okay, so I think thank you so much, Nandini, for taking up these questions very patiently and explaining them in a very wonderful way. And now I think I have more questions for you, and those questions I'm going to take from our Facebook group because there also our viewers have joined and they're continuously posting, their queries regarding the topic. So I think, with your permission, can I go ahead and take up those questions too?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, so this is the first question that I got from Akil Muhammad, and Akil Muhammad is saying that I hold a H-1B visa and planning to travel to USA. Do I have to pay the $1 lakh fee?
Hmm. Okay. Akil, be mindful, be careful. We don't have clarity yet. You're not here. This whole fee is absolutely about barring entry into the US. Even though you have a valid visa, I would hold. I would not have you travel if you can avoid it until I know for sure, or we all know for sure that if you have the visa in your passport and it's based on an application that was approved before September 21st, it doesn't apply to you, then only I would actually say to go. On the basic reading of what we're seeing between all the different, you know, things, you probably are not subject to it. You are my client. I would say I can't give you 100%. And I always like to give my clients 100% if I can, assurance that if they're going to be traveling. So, but if you're asking me if I'm a betting woman, I would say I don't think it's going to apply to you on this. But go with smartness, go with intelligence, go with understanding, go with paperwork, go with, all of this printed out so you're ready when you have to board the plane or when you have to deal with CBP here in the US.
All right, that's right. I think now it's time to be extremely mindful and very cautious. So, Akhil, just be like that. And as our attorney has advised you, hope it is going to really help you out. Okay,
And
let's.
here's another thing.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing, I just want to make something clear to Akil. It is not you that pays that 100,000. It is the company that has to pay the 100,000. So keep that in mind. All right. This is not for the beneficiary of the H-1B petition to pay. So you if somebody's traveling, you need to be in touch with your employer and make sure that they're comfortable with what you're doing and stuff, because the fee is going to hit them, not you. Even though you will be sitting in secondary or wherever waiting for that fee to come through, but it's them that has to pay it. So don't travel without having, your employer be aware of all of this kind of stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that is a very important thing, Nandini, that you have reminded us all. And I think this is also confusion that Akhil, I think he is having right now because he said that he has to pay. So thank you so much, Nandini, for clarifying that. And with that, let's move ahead with our next comment question that we have. Arpan is here. Arpan is asking, I'm currently in India to get the stamping for my H-1B extension. I got my visa approval months before. My OFC interview has been completed, and I have my consular interview in the coming week. So, will I be affected with this new $100,000 rule?
Again, not 100% clarity on this. The way it's reading, no. Okay, that's my first answer to you. It looks like you would not be affected because you already had a visa before, you were previously in the United States, you're coming for stamping for an extension, and the guidance or of whatever stuff they're putting out there says you most likely not. But it is not 100% clear what they actually mean, because they're using too many words interchangeably, and we can't understand what their thinking is when they say petition versus visa versus people outside versus new petitions. We don't know 100% what they mean by it. But as I told the other person, if I was a betting person, I would say most likely not, that you would not be subject to this. And again, you're going to go for stamping, your interview, you'll find out. Honestly, they're going to be like, where's the check from your employer, if they're going to actually impose this on you. But I don't think they're going to. I think you'll be all right.
All right, let's hope so. Okay, thank you, Nandini. And now we have anonymous participant, and the question is: Hello, everyone. Moved back to India in July 2024. However, my 6 years were maxing out in August 2024. Got my perm approved recently and was working on submitting I-114 premium. Once it is approved, need to apply for H-1B extension. Will this new $100,000 fee apply in my case? Please suggest.
Okay. So this is one of the types of cases that we're extremely concerned about, because we don't have clarity. And because, anonymous, you are not applying for an extension. An extension is someone who's in the United States and are extending their status that they currently have. You are not extending your status. You are outside the US. So when you're filing the H-1B, the thing is that you are not subject to the H-1B cap, and you are eligible for a time beyond the 6 years because you have an approved I-140. So on the petition, are we going to say new employment and consular processing, and is that going to trigger it? Or are they going to be able to look through the details and say, oh, this person is not, because he had an I-140? We don't know. This is a perfect type of case where we have absolutely no clarity as to what they mean when they say new petition. So what I would say to you is continue to go with your process, get your I-140 approved in premium, and then have your employer file your case. And you will know once that employer files it, whether they're going to get, a hit or an RFE or something of that kind for that fee. But it's the perfect case, Sam, where we are like, wondering about that. And I can tell everyone who's watching this weekend, lawyers all over who practice immigration went through 1,000 types of scenarios, and said, would this apply? Would this apply? Because this is considered this is considered that. And we have been on a debate since this dropped on Friday evening. And all of us are still, have our opinions, but we don't have enough information yet. So, but anonymous, go get that I-140 locked in, is what I would say to you.
All right. I think that's a pretty safe option. Let's move ahead with the next question that we have for you, Nandini.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Okay, this one. So this is a question. Hello, everyone. Please, after a successful lottery in April 2025, I filled a petition, but with regular processing. The approval is not out. However, with this new $100,000 visa fee news, I'm just seeing now. I'm almost giving up. My question is, will this affect me if eventually my petition is approved?
Okay, don't give up, because you're not in this. You don't count it in this proclamation. Guess why? Because your application was filed before September 21st, 2025. So you are not. So that you.
I'm so sorry, Nandini, but I think we are not able to hear you.
It says, connection is lost. Can you hear?
Actually, you're breaking up. Nandini, is it possible for you to join back again? I think you are stuck, or maybe some internet issues. That's okay, friends. I think Nandini is facing some internet issues. No need to worry. And soon we are going to have conclusion of this session. So I hope Karthik is also here and he is having a great question. So thank you, Karthik. Stay tuned, friends. And till the time Nandini is coming back, make sure to like, share, and also subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And we are live on YouTube, also available on different social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and also on Instagram. And the best part of these sessions are that you can directly get in touch with our attorney by visiting the link that is below the screen, you can see. And also put your questions and ask as many queries, doubts, and questions as much as possible so that we can help you out and make sure that yes, you are on the right track. So don't go anywhere. We are just taking a short break and we'll be right back. Keep watching, everybody. Immigration Talk Show.
You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped drowning in RFEs, intake calls, and late night filings. I used to hire freelancers who barely knew what a G28 was. Total chaos. Then I found IMI Support, virtual immigration paralegals trained in real case prep, docket-wise, and USCIS workflows. Now my calendar's clean, my clients are happy, and my firm runs while I relax. You can hustle or you can outsource smart. I chose freedom. I chose IMI Support.
All right. So, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Immigration Talk Show. Hi, Nandini. Hope everything is fine from your side.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Nothing to worry. Let's get back to our comment question because I don't want to miss that viewer's question. So, Control, if you can show us that comment question which we missed out, the last one. Okay, I think let's move ahead with Karthik's one till the time we can wait for that. So Karthik is here, and Karthik is asking Nandini that are we entering a phase where immigration policy becomes a tool of economic nationalism rather than global collaboration? What do you have to say on this?
I think absolutely. I think that is the vision of this administration, right? America first, not the world first, right? So we are definitely moving into that. And I think that rhetoric has spread throughout the world where every country seems to have been embracing a lot of these type of attitudes. You clearly see it in Europe. You're clearly seeing it even in India, right? Like honestly, right? We had very strict tariffs and stuff like that. And that was again part of keeping the nationalism going, right? So I think this is something that is very prevalent now. It seems to be, what it is throughout the world. And global friendliness even is no longer there, it seems like. It seems like we're all just in it on our own and almost to a point of we don't care what happens to you as long as we're okay, So it's sad.
Absolutely, it's sad, and I think those are very bold statements and very confident statements that you're making. So I'm loving it. I'm sure our viewers are too. Okay, and this is a comment, Nandini, that we missed. I think the next one, the last one, the anonymous participant Control, if you can share that.
I think we
Okay.
did this.
Yeah, this. No, this. I think. Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, we talked about this one. I said to submit the I-140. Go ahead. We just don't have 100% clarity on whether this is the type of case. I think we are very concerned about whether this will apply or not apply. So the when somebody's left, they were here previously. They maxed out on their 6 years. They're waiting for the I-140, and so that they can kind of file the application. Will they be subject to the 100K? Or their employer be subject to the 100K. This is a very specific type of case that we're concerned about, that will this be impacted? We're hoping no, because they previously were on an H, but we just don't know yet.
All right. All right. That's great. Okay, so I think we have covered a lot of questions from Facebook groups, also from our viewers, also who has joined us globally. So it feels really great and really happy, Nandini, to have conversation like these with you. If I think it would be in my hand, I would love to have these conversation every day with you. But I know that's not possible. You are extremely busy, especially these days. But how would you like to conclude this session? How was it according to you after a long time? We have been connecting with our viewers too. So how was your
Yeah.
experience? Please share with us.
I mean, I love being here, and Sam, I'm more than happy to come on at any time. So thank you so much. I think what you guys do is really important, and I think the advice and the attorneys you have on, coming on, you're doing a public service. So I think that's great. So the final thought I would just say to everybody who's watching is, um, I understand it's panic. I understand the fear. I know we all went through it this weekend, and a lot of us are still going through some of these things. Uh, try as much as you can not to panic. I'm not saying not to worry. I say not to panic. Um, there are times where there are avenues that you can navigate these type of things, and trust in your attorney. Hopefully you have a capable attorney, and trust in them to help you navigate through this. We are in a bold new world, and we're all trying to do our best. But I think most of us in this field, you know, we're trying to help you. We truly are, and we are absolutely there on your side.
Absolutely. That's really motivating. Thank you so much, Nandini, for being here and sharing such a great expertise with us. Really making us aware about these very important changes and, sharing these very insightful experts and everything. Thank you so much for being here and hope to have another very important and very timely discussion with you. Till then, thank you so much and really happy to have you here today and take care.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. All right, friends. So that's all for today's webinar. I hope you liked watching this session. And in case if you still have any other doubts, then please go ahead and put them in the comment section. Even after this live session ends, we are definitely going to take up those questions in our upcoming webinars or maybe after the session as well. So don't lose hope. Believe in yourself. Believe in God, because if it meant for you, it will definitely get to you. So thank you so much, friends, for joining us. Take care and thank you so much. Keep watching Immigration Talk Show. I'm Sam, signing off for now.